The most senior Catholic cleric in the UK has strongly criticised government plans to introduce gay marriage. Writing in the Sunday Telegraph, Cardinal Keith O'Brien called the proposals a grotesque subversion of a universally accepted human right. Sky's Jane Dougal reports.
Grotesque and madness. The words of Cardinal Keith O'Brien, seen here after his Sunday service in Edinburgh. The leader of Scotland's Catholics has launched the strongest attack yet against the government's plans to legalise same-sex marriages. He says it would create a society which deliberately chooses to deprive a child of either a mother or a father. If marriage can be redefined so that it no longer means a man and a woman, but two men or two women, why stop there? Why not allow three men, or a woman and two men, to constitute a marriage? Singer Elton John and his long-term partner David Furnish were one of the first couples to enter a civil partnership when they were introduced in 2005. It was widely seen as a popular move. Then, at last year's Tory party conference, David Cameron outlined plans to extend partnerships to same-sex marriage.
I don't support gay marriage in spite of being a Conservative. I support gay marriage because I am a Conservative.
While there was applause, Cameron knew he would be angering religious leaders and several of his own party members.
I nearly threw up when I heard him say that at the party conference. I have no idea how he can justify it being believing in same-sex marriage as a Conservative policy.
Since 2005, more than 46,000 same-sex couples have entered into civil partnerships, and most of the ceremonies have taken place at registry offices like this one. And that would be the case for same-sex marriages. No church would be forced to perform them, so it's left many people asking, why are religious leaders so against them?
Marriage isn't a civil union, it's a sacramental union of people.
I'm not opposed to anything. I mean, everyone has their own right to do what they want to do.
Many gay couples feel a civil partnership isn't enough, and it's not the church's place to dictate how they commit to each other.
It shouldn't be for someone from one denomination, the Roman Catholics, to be telling 57 million other people in this country what they can and cannot do.
Just one of the reasons the government is determined to push through this legislation.
We're not seeking to prescribe to the Catholic Church to change their views in some sort of way. This is not what this is about. It is about allowing civil marriage to take place for same-sex couples.
I was merrily listening to the leader's party conference speech at the last conference and applauding everything he was saying, and then he suddenly launched into this section about how he believed in marriage and supporting the family, which was great. And then he dropped the bombshell of saying that we are now going to have gay marriage, which is absolutely an impossible thing. You can't have a union that isn't a man and a woman and call it marriage. It's just, unless you're going to redefine something that's been there for centuries and centuries, it just cannot happen.
Well, we've had prejudice, discrimination and homophobia for hundreds and hundreds of years. It doesn't make it right. And I think to have civil partnerships of same-sex couples and to be able to have marriages, I think that that's right. And I don't like the edge.
Do you think it's the prejudiced and...
I don't want anybody to feel that this is a licence for whipping up prejudice. I think that, yes, there's a public policy discussion. We're clear where we stand on it. But I think that... I think that what you're talking about is individual people's and their personal relationships, their love for each other, and their wanting to be in a partnership or getting married. And I think we should support that.
The Cardinal has said only a minority of activists want these long-standing laws and traditions to be changed. But the coalition feels if a couple wants to commit their lives together, they should have the option of marriage, regardless of sexual orientation. Jane Dougal, Sky News.
We're joined now by the Conservative Minister, Alan Duncan, who is himself in a civil partnership. Very good evening to you. Do you think that this article could be deemed to be fuelling prejudice and discrimination?
Well, I don't really want to see it that way if we can avoid it. I mean, the fact is that the government will soon announce some proposals which are for consultation about civil marriage. And I don't think they need cause any upset to Cardinal O'Brien because they're not really going to affect him. The point is this. No one religion or any religion owns the word marriage. But in the context of any religion, the ceremony and the beliefs and the sacraments that go with it matter. But at the moment, if you're a same-sex couple, as I am, you can have a civil partnership, and many people in the gay community say, well, that's not quite equal because our commitment is just as great. So I think what the proposals are going to say is that there can be civil marriage, that's to say, if you like, an upgrade from the existing system of a civil partnership, but it can't take place on religious premises, so there's no question of us forcing it, indeed it wouldn't be permitted. So this does not in any way affect religious organisations, be they Hindu or Christian, Church of England, Catholic, within the Christian faith, in the way they currently conduct marriage.
Is it right then what the Cardinal says? He says it's not about rights, but rather an attempt to redefine marriage in our society.
Well, I think it's not only the Christian Church that conducts marriage, other religions do too, and in a world where people feel that it is wrong if they are treated unequally, religions do not own the word marriage in a way that allows them to forbid someone else using it to apply to them. So I think that in terms of the Cardinal's fury at this, so long as the Catholic Church, the Church of England, or indeed any religion, is allowed to continue with its approach to marriage as it would wish, then I don't think there should be any cause for upset. And I have enormous respect for religions, and I have enormous respect for the Catholic Church. And I think it's right that he is allowed to have his view and live by it. And we wouldn't in any way want to impose a secular view on a religious organisation, on a church. So I don't think that in looking at these parallel approaches, he need think that one conflicts or offends with the other.
Alan Duncan MP, thank you for your thoughts this evening.
Thank you.